What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, Michael or Legacy KLHD back today with another top upcoming games video for you, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of the best survival games coming out in 2017 and beyond. Some of these games include big AAA titles and others that you may have not heard of. So throughout the video, make sure to drop down in the comments and let me know what upcoming survival game you're looking forward to the most, and if you enjoy the video, make sure to smack that like button, consider subscribing for a lot more additional videos like this. Nonetheless, let's get started here at the number 8 spot with Resident Evil Biohazard, which is a survival horror video game developed and published by Capcom. The game is set in 2017, approximately 4 years after the events of Resident Evil 6 in the fictional city of Dulvey, Louisiana. It features a new protagonist named Ethan Winters, who is a civilian that offers fewer combat skills than most previous Resident Evil main characters. Ethan is in search of his missing wife, which leads him to a plantation mansion, home of the Baker family. And this upcoming game will be played from a first-person perspective, and the player will have access to a variety of weapons including pistols, shotguns, flamethrowers, explosives, and chainsaws in the fight against enemies described as mutant creatures, but the developers have warned that players should not expect to have a gun fest. And some other notable mechanics include puzzle solving, resource management, and healing herbs. Now I have to admit, I've never been too crazy about the Resident Evil franchise in a whole, but this game definitely has my interest, mainly because it seems like Capcom's taken a different direction. This game is really all about horror, and from the gameplay and the demos that we have seen, it looks really creepy and strange, and that's why I think it's going to be a lot of fun to uncover the secrets that are within the Baker family's mansion, and also finding our main character's wife, and who's to say if that story will end up happy. Now to the number 7 spot, we have Hello Neighbor. It's a first-person tactical stealth survival horror video game being developed by indie team Dynamic Pixels, and the game runs on the Unreal Engine 4. The plot revolves around sneaking into your neighbor's house and figuring out what he's hiding in his basement, but the opponent is artificial intelligence who can learn by himself, study our players' tactics, undertake counter-actions, remember our players' decisions, and make plans to make sure we don't uncover their secrets. Now I remember going on one of the social media platforms and seeing the trailer for this game, and it really got my interest because it's really battling against AI. And obviously within the house there's going to be a lot of obstacles until you finally get to the basement, but every mistake you make will cost you, and this AI is only going to get smarter and smarter. And it seems to be that everybody's interest is over this basement and figuring out what's within it. Let me know in the comment section if you have any guesses of what's going to be within it. Maybe it's a copy of Half-Life 3. Now to the number 6 spot, we have the Wild 8. It's an open world survival simulation video game with a procedurally generated world developed by 8 Points and published by Hype Train Digital. We'll be taking inspiration from Diablo and more modern indie titles like Don't Starve. The Wild 8 is based around a team of up to 8 players working together to survive after a plane crash. While the survivors await rescue, their lives are threatened by a number of mysterious entities, unseen creatures, and objects. Players will have to develop survival skills such as shelter building, crafting, and hunting. The freezing temperatures at night will come into play, and there are apparently mutated wolves on the loose. This upcoming game also has 5 pillars: exploration, cooperative multiplayer, survival, crafting and improving, hunting or being hunted. And behind the game's exploration, you'll be uncovering the mysteries behind the plane crash by following the immersive quest lines and finding all the anomalies that lie hidden in the snowy region. And in terms of hunting, you'll be gathering food for energy and fleeing from the ferocious beasts, or turning the tables and letting them taste your fear. However, there's things lurking in the wild that are even more dangerous than wild animals in the cold. Now, being somebody who really enjoyed Don't Starve, I'm excited to see what this game has to offer. It appears that there's going to be a lot of different types of gameplay elements, which obviously is always a good thing. And hearing that there's mutated animals and other things worse than wild animals, I think that's also very creepy and cool. But at the same time, this game will be offering single player and multiplayer options. And up to just a few days ago, I never heard of this title, but it definitely has potential of being one of the best games coming out in 2017. Now to the number 5 spot, we have Conan X Isles. It's an open world survival game being developed by Funcom Games. You're an exile, one of thousands cast out to fend for themselves in a barbaric wasteland swept by terrible sandstorms, besieged on every side by enemies. Here you must fight to survive, build, and dominate. Journey through a vast, seamless world filled with ruins of ancient civilizations and uncover its dark history and buried secrets as you seek to conquer and dominate the exiled lands yourself. And this game definitely has a lot to offer, and it could be one of the biggest titles coming out in 2017, but just from the exploration, going through these ancient civilizations and finding out the secrets, I think that's pretty cool. But one of the best parts about this game is the player versus player interactions, because it appears that we're going to be able to build a huge empire in the matter of seconds. A god could be summoned and they could destroy our whole civilization. I don't know why, but that gets me so excited. And at the same time, that is not just the only threat, because this open world offers a lot of other types of huge animals that could destroy our civilizations and ourselves. Now at the number 4 spot, we have Project Wight. It's an open world Viking RPG being developed by The Outsiders, which is a small team led by ex-Battlefield and Payday developers. The game tells its story through the viewpoint of a creature rather than that of its Viking-esque warriors. This game will be taking in a diverse range of influences. Project Wight is inspired by monster movies, surrealist poetry, heavy metal album covers, and many other sources that fascinate the studio's team. But the main inspiration comes from John Gardner's Grendel, which tells the Beowulf werewolf epic but written from the point of view of the monster. As you can gather, not much has been released about this game so far, but it will be releasing sometime in 2017, and the developers are aiming to make a huge experience. It's not just killing humans, it looks to be much more than that, making the role-playing experience something different than a lot of the RPGs that we've seen so far. Now at the number 3 spot, we have State of Decay 2. It's a survival video game being developed by Undead Labs, and it's a bigger, badder, bolder, smoother State of Decay that you can play with your friends with. The world of State of Decay 2 is more dangerous and unpredictable than ever, so if you choose, you can work closely with up to 3 other players to build lasting communities and put your survival plan to the test. As with the original hit, your choices will shape an interconnected world and form a unique experience every time you play. Dynamic game systems for character progression, base building, leadership promotion, and consequence-driven storytelling will result in a dramatic experience that tests your will to survive. And throughout the game, you will explore a visually stunning and richly detailed world brought to life with the Unreal Engine 4. I've said this time and time again, but I felt that the first State of Decay got slept on by a lot of other gamers, and I feel that this next installment has a lot of potential to be one of the best games coming out next year. I'm extremely excited that they decided to upgrade their engine. They went from the CryEngine to the Unreal Engine 4, which I think is a major step in the right direction, and the CEO of Undead Labs has said that this game will be much larger compared to the previous installment, which obviously is always a great thing as there will be even more exploration. But in terms of story, I'm interested in seeing what exactly happened outside of Trumbell Valley and how this outbreak spreaded. Either way, this is definitely one of the most anticipated games of mine going into 2017, and if you are a fan of the zombie genre and love survival games, I think that you should give this game a try when it comes out. Now at the number 2 spot, we have Days Gone. It's an open world action-adventure survival horror video game in development by SIE Bend Studio. It's played from a third-person perspective. Players control Deacon St. John, a drifter and former bounty hunter who prefers to live a dangerous life on the road over living in wilderness encampments. The game takes place 2 years after a global pandemic occurred which killed almost all of humanity, but transformed millions of others into freakers, mindless zombie-like creatures that are quickly evolving. Players are allowed to use multiple ways to complete objectives, such as utilizing stealth for silent takedowns or taking the aggressive approach by using long and short-ranged weapons. Dynamic day-night cycles also feature in the game, which makes freakers weak and slow during the day, but fast and aggressive during the night. Vehicles such as motorbikes can be used to explore the game's world. Players are also able to craft new items to improve combat efficiency, and it has been said that this game will be taking place in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Although the zombie genre is already filled with so many games, this is probably one of the best original ideas that will be coming out in the next year or two. And I'm most interested in learning about our main character and seeing the conflicts that he'll face, because there definitely appears to be some type of human enemy that will be within the game. Maybe that's a group or just surviving, so that'll be interesting to learn. And I'm also hopeful that this open world offers a lot of substance, and I hope that there's a lot of things to do within it. Either way, it definitely appears that Sony continues to deliver amazing games, and this most definitely could be one of the best ones coming out. Now to the number 1 spot, we have The Last of Us Part 2. It's an action-adventure survival horror video game being developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony. Very little has been revealed, but we will see the return of Ellie and Joel, and it will be taking place 5 years after the first game, and Ellie will be the lead playable character within the game, and Joel will be returning in a supporting role. Ellie is now 19 years old, all tatted up and fueled by hate, which will be a major theme of The Last of Us Part 2. Ellie will play differently from Joel, but it is said that revealing any more about her evolution was risky territory. The reason the sequel is specifically named Part 2 is that it's a complementary story of the first game, and that the two games will tell a much larger story. I honestly can't explain how excited I am for this next installment. It was one of the best shock announcements that was announced at the PlayStation Experience here at the end of 2016. And from the teaser trailer, we did see that Ellie knows how to play the guitar now, which was one of the things that Joel promised to teach Ellie at the end of The Last of Us, which is a pretty cool thing. We also saw the logo of the Firefly, so it definitely appears that that group will be returning. And Neil Druckmann, the game's director, had this to say about this upcoming title. We knew that it needed to be a story worth telling, and perhaps more importantly, a story worthy of Joel and Ellie. After spending years on different ideas and almost giving up, we finally uncovered a story that felt special, a story that evolved into an epic journey. And based on what we've heard, at this point, it definitely seems like we won't see this until at least 2018, but I'm just extremely excited to see that this game is real and it is happening. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and let me know what upcoming survival game you're looking forward to the most in 2017 and beyond. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to smack that like button if you haven't already, and consider subscribing for a lot more videos like this, and I'll see you later.